Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast Within the RAM. Over the upcoming episode, you are going to hear industry leaders sharing their hard-won wisdoms and experiences, giving you an insider's look at building successful Web3 careers and companies. I'm your host, Steph, a co-founder member of Crypto Connect and Job Ledger. I have 7 years of experiences in recruitment and connected to the most inspiring, intelligent, and groundbreaking industry leaders and builders. Whether you are a Web3 veteran or brand new to the space, we want Within the RAM to be your go-to resource. So get ready to ask questions, share your thoughts, and join us on this wild Web3 adventure. Now, before we begin, it would mean a lot to us if you can help like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. It really helps within the algorithm, and it encourages our team greatly to create more content. If you want to know a bit more about us, simply scroll down and where I have placed our related website and socials in the description below. Alright, let's get into this.
Today, I'm super delighted to invite a very honorable guest, Nha Tran, who is a founder and CEO of the Var Meta, which is a blockchain consulting company based in Vietnam, and they are serving a lot of large corporates in the Southeast Asia market. I'm very honored and excited to have an interview with this young entrepreneur. Welcome to the podcast. How are you today, Nha?
Hi, Steph. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. And I'm doing great and very excited to have the conversation with you.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Before we started, we had a chit chat, and I found you have a very chill and go with the flow kind of personality. Like, do you think this sort of personality help you develop a young, bright leadership character in your company?
I think like my approach to leadership is very kind of like simple. Firstly, I try to manage myself. I try to doing good with everything I do, and then those things will kind of like will influence other people in the good way. So that is very natural. My approach into leadership.
I think there is a saying like for the leadership, like those kind of people don't choose to be a leader, but they kind of influence other people so that they can take the leadership positions. And I really think this kind of mentality fits a lot of why you would become such a young entrepreneur in this age. Because like when I do my research, I'm aware that you only started working full-time after 6-7 years. You have developed this consulting company. So could you share with us a little bit more about your personal background, like how you work from full-time in sales, BD, and then delve into blockchain and become a founder?
Okay, sure. So I think like I have kind of like personality that I always intrigue and try to do some things myself, try to kind of like create a different set of value from the market, right? So when I was in school, so I always try to explore different idea, selling, course, even like, most of the entrepreneurs in Vietnam, when they want to start their career, they will start with just e-commerce or having like open a coffee shop or something. Yeah. So I also like try to explore those idea myself when I was in school. But yeah, and then after graduated, I got to work for a global e-commerce agency. I spent 3 years at that company, and I learned so much with my B2B skills. And then I decided to start my business, which is e-commerce. At that time I sell import goods from other countries to modern trade, shows like supermarket, malls. So yeah, the business at that time was for the first year, but then the COVID hit, and then there was no traffic into this modern trade and this the supermarket malls. So I decided to come back to work as a IT consultancy for also like quite a big IT company in Vietnam. And then after spend 2 years, I came to build this agency, the Meta, which is focused on emerging technology, blockchain, VR, and AI. Yeah. So I have kind of different kind of.
Well, that's interesting because like I realize that a lot of people's lives get impacted by COVID. Like when you look back, you might see that damn, like the COVID take away of my everything. Like there's no people using the retail store. Like there's no one purchasing, and there's no more opportunity.
Yes, it's true.
And apparently you are able to grasp that opportunity and turn it to a golden chance in exploring something new. But like, okay, so now I get a little bit more of understanding, and you went from e-commerce and then back to IT. But I'm super curious, why specifically for blockchain, VR, and AR? What are the things that you found it potential in building your business in IT?
So like I was first learn about blockchain, crypto when I just graduated from school, like I think like 2015, I think like almost 10 years ago, right? So at that time I learned about the idea of like decentralized the financial system. So I think that's a good idea, but at that time I don't have enough knowledge, and also like I was too busy with my job, so I couldn't dig deeper. But then I think after 5-6 years, at that time blockchain is become almost, I think, like mainstream. So in 2020, so a lot of people spoke about crypto, spoke about blockchains, and then I have time to do more research, and I think it's gonna be a big way in technology. So I want to get involved. Yeah. So that is that way I came to know about blockchain and why I decided to get involved, right? The other reason is like when I started this business, so we are offering consultancy services and implementation on IT industry. If we do e-commerce, if we do fintech or other things, the market is already well organized. So it's very hard to compete with those guys, right? Those guys already in the market for 5 years, 10 years. So we need to do something different. So that's why I found that blockchain, AI, and VR AI is fit very well into our strategy.
So basically, like you're trying to evaluate what's the market offering and trying to get something into, like, turn it into your advantages, into your own business model. You mentioned like you came from e-commerce and B2B background, and you were able to set up your own company after working for a few years. And as a young company owner, how did you find your previous experiences working as like B2B partnership kind of background, equipping you to be able to set up your own company in such a young age?
So I'm 29 right now, so I would say that I'm not that young, right? But I think like working in a agency, e-commerce agency, like consultancy agency, is taught me a lot about B2B selling skills. So I think selling is always one of the skills that's very important at every job, right? So we do selling every day. Even like we across the street, we need to negotiate. We need to sell to other people opposite us, right? So yeah, so I think his skills set helped me a lot, and I have other friends is very talented in technologies, so they can help me handle the real work. Of course, I also have the understanding of how all those things works. But most of the time, my main job is trying to navigate the strategy of the company, like what should we do, where should we go, and who should we approach. So these skill sets being taught and learned from my previous jobs helped me a lot to fulfill these tasks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it would resonate with a lot of other founders because like you can't do everything, like
Yeah. It's
yeah, and I see that a lot of founders, especially in crypto, they may come from a tech background, but probably they might not know how to manage a business, how to do the hiring, how to do the strategy, how to do the pitching. And I guess like the experience that you've gained for outreaching, partnership, and also like the resources of like tech talented people being available to you definitely paved the wave of like your own company success. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm aware that like with Var Meta, you guys are able to work with a lot of like large corporates in the Southeast Asia market, like for example, Ubisoft or BitKan, like the number one exchange in Thailand. Could you share with us like how did you expand your market? Like how did you formulate your strategy and being able to win your clients' heart? What were your secret recipe as a experienced B2B sales and CEO?
I think like for the again like come back to what I learned from the skills I learned from the previous job, right? Selling things to other corporate. So I have I have very simple approach to selling. To being a salesman is that like we are trying to find people who are having the problems, who are struggling with the problems, where we can fulfill our value. We can help them, right? So I always on the lookout for those people who are struggling, who are having the problems. So I read the signal from the market and try to and thanks to my connection, so I know that who is struggling, and I approach them. So sometimes it is like cold callings, cold emailings, try to, so hey, they say like hey, I know you are struggling with this project, and we have done something similar like that. We have the company aim to to deliver this project in a time frame of, and with a result like this. So yeah, it's a very simple pitch, but it's just like we need to, because nowadays like if you're on LinkedIn, you will receive a lot of messages, maybe like from the bot, right? Offering the like development services, marketing services to a bunch of people without targeted. So I have the different approach that we need to find who are struggling in the market first, trying to read the signal from the market, and then once we know that, so we can approach them very very easy, because they also need that services, need those people to come in and help them to solve that problem.
Yeah, well, I guess like for anyone like who in the partnership in BD, always knowing your market, knowing the pain point of your clients are the number one rules on how to win the deal. Like, yeah.
But I think the difference is that like you need to, because they will not come to every agency, everyone to and say that hey, we have that problems, right? So we need to kind of like utilize our connections, networks, or utilize all the information that we can have in the internet today to connect us and to see like who will be the one might need your services. And then also like doing branding also very important, that I think we have not done a good job in the past. For every customer, we try to turn them into our advocates. So I would say that like 50% of our customer come back and give us more customers. So they introduce to their friends, to their connections. So we have more business. And some people, they left the previous company and then they set up their own business. They also come back to work with us.
So it's almost like the having a very strong word of mouth effect in place, where once you win this client, then like 50%
Yeah.
of your client will automatically refer them, like because like you guys provided like very good services and they have very good experiences working with you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. It's
brilliant.
kind of like integrated marketing, integrated marketing strategy, and it's compound from different set of things, right? But it always just comes if you deliver quality, if you deliver value to your customer.
Well, like you mentioned, in the consulting space, it's like, especially for the blockchain consulting space, I think it's a very fierce, like there are a lot of competitions. And I bet like a lot of people on LinkedIn, they will constantly receive different messages and invitation for those sales pitch. And apparently you said you wanted to implement a different sales strategies, and you would rather leverage your own professional connections in winning the deal. Yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how you think like your product offering being excellent to your clients? What are the things that you think you stand out from the market?
Yeah, I did also like the question I try to ask myself and my team every day. Like, how can we stand out from the market, right? Like working in the service industry is quite hard. Seeing like you say that you deliver, you offering blockchain consultancy services, but like the other firm also doing the same, right? So I guess that the difference sit into the quality of your services. So at Var Meta, so our motto is like we always try to work with the best and the selected customers that we can also not just get the business from them, but also get a chance to learn from them. So very beginning of this of the company, we try to approach the guys like Aptos, Sui, Hedera, which is they invented like the blockchain layer one technologies, right? So they are obviously very capable, very talented people working in your firm. So we try to work together with them. We have Aptos to build Unreal SDK. We have Sui to build Unity SDKs. So yeah, so we always try to ask these questions: what kind of different set of value we can bring to the market, and how we can like become better every day. So yeah, so I think that is make us different, and it also not easy to convey it in a kind of like marketing content or something. It needs time to prove it with the customer, right?
I really love your approach and the way that you share it, because like usually as a business we will only think of how to win the deal, but then the way you put it is also being selective on who you work with and use that as the experience and learn and optimizing your previous experience and being in a process for betterment for the quality of the overall businesses, which I think is a very important mentality within the crypto space, because things are changing every day. And who can claim that they are the most familiar with one thing? Today, they might be more like people like account extraction, and tomorrow there is a new ERC standard. Every day is changing.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. Like actually, we try to balance between those things, like between revenue and the luxury that we can work together with the team we love. So yeah, we try to balance between that, because anyway I need to bring revenue to the company, right? So we couldn't just like pursue a deal that we never close. Yeah, so it's kind of like we need to we need to balance.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, so you mentioned like you will be mainly handling the strategy and having the steer of what's the directions of the company. And for your past through almost 3 years managing the company, what was the biggest mistake that you found I shouldn't have made this mistake before? Yeah, as a founder and as a leader.
I think like it's not very big mistake, but I think at the early days of the business, every company, every startup will might also have the same problems that at the beginning we have very very easy in terms of hiring. So normally we will get not very good high because and we set very low standards. So not very low standard because you are a startup, right? So you will be happy when people come and work together with you, right? So you don't have to become not a really good strategy for me. Yeah. So I think like we need to win the market and to deliver good things. So we need to set a very high bar standard. So hiring is very important, and how to do the hiring right also very crucial to every startup.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, when you mention like when I do the research, your company currently have about 50 employees. Am I correct?
Yeah. So we have around like 70 full-time people.
70.
Yeah.
I see.
And then like those contractors as well. Yeah.
So could you share with us a little bit more like different phase? Because like I imagine for the first few hires for the core members would have a very different hiring strategy or mentality, while you start to incorporate like 10, 20, 50, 70. Like could you walk us through what were the phase on like the different implementation or strategies on hiring in terms of the growth of the company size?
Yeah, I would say that like just almost it's just more than 2 years still. I think we're still at the first phase, but if I can split it, so I think like I just shared. So at the beginning, we are very easy in terms of hiring. So we don't really apply any kind of like process. We just look around for connections for people we know, and then we reach out to them directly, or we ask for friends to referral. So almost of them is in our connection, and we are very easy in terms of hiring because we need people to come in and help us. It's already a luxury when you start at the beginning and people believe in you and charge you, right? Because but then you forget to weigh in other factors. After the company get into the size of like 30 or 30 plus people, then we starting to have the people problems, and then we see that we need to have the hiring process. We need to bring in the right people at the beginning, so we don't have to deal with that later. I think like the first year, and even like still now, I spend a lot of time dealing with people problems, and I don't think that is a good way to do business, right? So I would love to spend my time to do more research, to try to navigate the market, and try to do more networking, more sellings, to bring business to the company, and try to have a sustainable, not just like dealing with people not happy. So we come back and we ask the question like, what kind of set of characters will fit with us, will fit with our cultures, and can grow and can win together with us in the time frame of at least 3 years, 5 years. So we define it, and then we try to come back and adjust our hiring process.
So like I can totally resonate, because I do, like as a recruiter myself, I do see a lot of founders having completely no idea what they even want at the first place. Okay, someone will tell me, okay, I want a person who do marketing. Okay, but there are 10 different things in marketing. So which part of marketing do I really want? And how is the process that I need to set up to bring into those people? And like you mentioned, how should we do our own branding to attract the right talents so that we can have a similar growth mindset to walk into this path hand in hand and growth as a company and as an individual together. And I think like what you've just said is very interesting, and I know that a lot of people might have similar struggles just like yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when you mentioned like you would want to incorporate more process or do the branding, what were the things that you did? What were the actions that you put in attracting the right people?
Like I'm not like directly involved into this process, and I would have my partners to help me on that. I'm not good at process, but the idea that like we will implement that. Firstly, we need to define that set of characters we might need in our people, right? And then we define it. After that, we will look back on those like wrong high, and then we try to learn a lesson from that, right? Incorporate all those information. So we will have a set of like question or set of like interview questions or like kind of like procedures when we screening all the resume we have. Yeah. So so we do what in terms of screening, CV screening, and then we also like have more process, like not more process, but like clear set of expectation in the interview, like what we are looking in this interview. So we try to tick all the boxes to see if like so we try to categorize all the factors, and then
I guess
so
like
that's what we do.
Yeah, that's cool. I guess like again, like asking your own, for some of you like trying to build your own team, I guess you need to ask yourself, what are the things that you truly need when you hire certain people? Just like what you just mentioned with us, like set up a list on what we're trying to figure out and find out in this interview, and whether this person resonate with our team, and whether this person will be able to deliver what we are looking for. It will trying to maximize the value of the right candidate. That's cool.
Right.
Yeah, speaking of these, because I realized you emphasize a lot in whether this person is able to grow with you, with the company together. And what are the criteria that you will look into when you interview certain people? How you evaluate whether this person is a good candidate?
It's kind of hard to say, right? Even like it's like so I think like for us, we always looking for like Warren Buffett teachers, right? Brain, energy, and intuitive. So that is three things we try to find in life. But like for myself, I love to create kind of like a lovely working environment. I love to have people laugh at our office. So I really like those people with the can do a good joke, and with kind of like criticism, scary personality. So I love kind of people, right? So so like for example, we have quite a very at the beginning. We have quite very new, very a guy. He's doing very good joke, and he can do a rhythm to everything, right? So I love it, and I very kind of enjoyed it. And when you around those people, you will joke work. Your life will be have more laughter. So it's a very good thing for the health, and it boosts your energies. And also at the same time, these people, they also need to be very clever, very intelligent to have a good job. You will also learn from them.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I think this mentality is great, because like sometimes we tend to think when we are trying to interview for a job, what we must have a poker face, we must have like our suit, and to be like super serious. I'm not saying you shouldn't take your interview or your job seriously, but sometimes we take ourselves too seriously that we forget just to have fun. And especially in the tech space, like the working hours is usually quite long, and you will see your colleagues or your team members more than seeing your family or your boyfriend, girlfriend, your kids. So I guess like putting someone that being energetic and being like friendly to have is also very important.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool. And okay, speaking of this, would there be anything that you find it a red flag when you see someone? Okay, if he or she have this type of behavior or personality, it will be a red flag for me. From your experience, did you encounter anything of this?
I always try to value integrity, so I think it's always a red flag if someone is not aligned with that. So
I see. Yeah, so basically like when you see he or she doesn't really align with your company's value, that probably is not a good fit. Get it.
But I think like just like integrity is very hard to, it's just not easy to know in a couple hours speaking, right? Especially for those people, they are very good at describe. So but I think like another things I try to detect in red flag is like low standard. Yeah. So if we find someone is with very low standard, like don't have the learning mindset, so it will be very hard for them to. I think it's very hard for them to succeed in nowadays work dynamic market, right?
Yeah. So apart from just being friendly, you also have to demonstrate your part of having a good work ethics, and you really care about what you're delivering and how to build your own career, so on and so forth. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Speaking of these, I am aware like all of your employees, when I look into your LinkedIn page, they all look very young. And it really reminds me of like the job market or the overall population in Vietnam. Could you share with us a little bit more like what are the dynamics in work and like the employees or employers markets in Vietnam?
Vietnam, you have the advantage in terms of IT workforce. So every year we have like 50,000 people who are graduated from school, right? Vietnamese people being recognized in the market for like work hard for they also like bring quality with very, I would say that considered very capable of their work at programming. Like before this, I just had another meeting with our customer in the States. So we are building a very large fintech solution for them using AI and big data analytics technologies. So he was working at the MasterCard as the vice president of product. So he did all the innovation. He led all the innovation at the MasterCard at that time. And now he is a CTO of this company that working together with us. And he shared with me his experience working with Vietnamese engineers. First time at his company, and then later with the experiences working with us, right? So I think Vietnam is having the advantage in terms of IT workforce.
Yeah, like having, as far as I know, like for the whole Asia, especially like in Asia, when you look at the population and fertility rate, like in Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, we have entered an ultra low fertility rate. Like the couples don't want to have kids. Whereas I understand in Vietnam or Indonesia, for example, there are a lot of young people. There are a lot of new workforce every year entering, especially in tech. And that's definitely having a great advantages for people that are setting up a new business, or for builders that they would like to hire new developers, and they can definitely look into the Vietnamese workforce and the market. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, so are there anything that you would like to give us any advice before we wrap up our interview? If it's for some of
Yeah.
them, they're looking to build their own business.
I think like firstly I want to advocate for Vietnam as the place for builder. They want to set up the development centers in Vietnam, or they want to move their operation into Vietnam, because like Vietnam also have a lot of tourism place that they can explore. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the first thing. And like for people who want to build their business, so I think I just do it. Just try to enjoy the process. And yeah, so you will not figure out if you do not get started right. And then there will be a lot of challenges, and also a lot of blockers. But I think it will also like joy learning and growth along the way. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your advice. And that reminds me of there's a saying, the best moment of starting something new, there's two timing. The first one is 10 years ago, and then the second best timing is now. So I think that's very valuable piece of advice. Thank you so much again.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks, Steph, for having me.
I hope you enjoyed the video, as we will be interviewing with interesting leaders across the Web3 space on a weekly basis. Be sure to stay tuned to us. If you find our content interesting, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the like button, hit the bell notification, and see you in the next one.